Okay.
Okay, guys, today a lot of you are going to watch the recording. So I'm just going to have Gina here, but we're going to just kind of do a brief training on a Hot 20 list. And I think that this is a really important thing to help you when you are growing to gold and also looking to grow gold leaders. Because sometimes when you get started and you're trying to think of people to message, sometimes you may be told make a list of 100. When I got started, I think I was told make a list of 100. And sometimes that can feel a little overwhelming. And so instead of a list of 100, one other thing that you could do is make a hot 20 list. And that is exactly what it sounds like. It is a list of 20 people. And you get a notebook and you write down the names of 20 people. But here's what's a little different. I want you to write down the names of 20 people that you are excited about. And so that can be people that you think of that you think, man, if they would try Plexus and they would try these products and then they would share, a lot of people would sign up because they have influence and people love them. So you can put people like that on the Hot 20 list. You can also put people on the Hot 20 list that you know have health challenges or you know could use the products or the business to help them. You can put people on the Hot 20 list that you've just met and you're like, man, I like them. They're interesting. I want to be friends with them. You could put those people on the Hot 20 list. You just want to try to get a list of around 20 names that each month, at the beginning of each month, you start a new list. And part of the reason that this matters is because we work from an emotion. We take action from an emotion that comes from a thought. Okay, so when you have an old list, you feel frustrated, you feel discouraged. You're like, I've already messaged these people. This is not so exciting. And or if you have an old list or you have a list of people that you're not excited about, you may not message them because you're not excited about them. But if you make a new fresh list every month, then you could message those people from excitement because you're excited about these people. So that's one of the reasons that the Hot 20 list is so successful. It's not that it's like this magical list, it's because you're putting people on there that you're excited about getting to know, getting to message, and then eventually you're messaging them. But this is how the Hot 20 list works. Like you're going to make this list the first day of every month, or if the first day is a Saturday and you're not working, you can make it the next day. But you're going to make this list. And then throughout the month, you're going to engage on these people's Facebooks. If they're people you see in person, you're going to hang out with them in person. But if they're on Facebook, you're going to go to their Facebook page consistently during the month, not necessarily every day because that's kind of stalkerish, but you're going to visit these people's pages. You're going to see what they're posting. You're going to like their posts. You're going to comment on their posts. You're going to engage with them. You're going to see if they're posting anything in their stories. And you're going to be watching for clues. You are a detective. You are a hunter, but not you're not harpooning people, but you are a hunter and you are hunting and you are investigating and looking for problems that these people might have that you can guess that they might have, or that they're, like an educated guess, but also maybe they're just telling you a problem they have on their post. And you are looking for problems they have that you can solve with your products or the Plexus opportunity. And then after you've been snooping around, after you've been investigating, then you can send them a cold message. But it will be that cold message without the cringe, where you find a story that shows that the products help with the problem that you see they have or that you're guessing they have. And then you send them a message that's like, hey, I saw this story and I thought of you because you also have a toddler. And if you're anything like me, having a toddler is exhausting and stressful. And I was just wondering, could you relate to this anything in the story at all? And then you send the message. And that's going to have a lot more chance of being successful than just sending the standard cold reach out. Now, if you get to the end of your month and you haven't found anything that the person's talking about or any problems that the person is having, or you can't guess based on, well, they're a busy realtor. Like, for example, I have a lady that is on my list today, and I wanted to send a story. I committed to sending a story every day, at least one. And then once I send that story, I'm checking to see who else do I know that I can send that story to. So, but this lady is a busy real estate agent and she has a toddler. So I looked for stories about busy moms, moms with toddlers, and other real estate agents. And I picked a story and I'm going to send it to her and see if she can relate. And then I'm going to be like, what other real estate agents do I know that I can send this message to? And she may or may not answer, but the point is that I'm doing the work, I'm doing the reps, I'm going to get better and better at this. And I'm going to have more success over time as I'm sending these stories. So that's what you do with your Hot 20 list. Now, a couple of questions you might have about your Hot 20 list. Um, does it change? Yes, absolutely. Like each month, we're going to start a new one. Now, if there are people so we're going to make one at the beginning of November. You might go ahead and make a little mini one for the last week. You could do like a Hot 10 list for the last week of the month. I think that would be a fantastic thing. And I would actually encourage you, make a Hot 10 list and drop a picture in the chat once you've made a Hot 10 list of people that you're excited to get to know better or share Plexus with. And then let's see if we can practice a little bit at the end of the month. But so let's say that we get to November 1st, which is a Friday. You're going to make your November 1st Hot 20 list, okay? And you're going to try to get the names of 20 people on that list that you're excited about sharing Plexus with. And remember, these can be people that you feel like if they loved the products, they could sign a ton of people. These can be people that you've just met and you're excited to get to know better. This could be somebody you just think, well, what if they might be interested? Or people you do know have a problem. And then you're going to put those people on the list. Now, um, people from the previous month, so that'll be our 10 list that we're going to make this week. If they haven't signed up and you're still excited about them, bring them forward onto the list. If you're not excited about them, don't move them forward onto the new list because you want to start each month fresh and excited. Okay. Now, here's some other places that you could find names to put on your list. You can look at your stories and see who has viewed your stories. You don't have to jump right into messaging them. You can look at people that have viewed your stories, and then you can put some of them, the ones that make you excited, on your Hot 20 list. Okay. You can also look at your posts, especially the non-Plexus posts. Look for names, look for people that might make you feel excited. And then I would say put some of those people on the list. Now, it might be tempting to put more than 20 people on the list. I wouldn't do that. Here's why I wouldn't do that. You don't want to get overwhelmed because then you feel overwhelmed. And then again, you're not working with excitement and energy. You're working with negative energy and overwhelm, and you may not message anybody at all. What I would recommend instead is make that Hot 20 list. And if you work your way through that Hot 20 list and you've gone to everybody's page and you've messaged them about something and sent them a story, make a new one. No one says you can't make a new one halfway through the month if you've already done, gone overboard and done amazing and type aid yourself through it and are ready for a new list. Okay. But that's what we're going to do with a Hot 20 list. And I have two ladies on here right now live. So if you guys have any questions, I can answer those questions. But really, this is just a simple strategy that I wanted you to start thinking about, and I want us to implement this last week, kind of practice, and then next month or next Friday, make a new list. Okay, so we'll start a new list on November 1st, but this week until next week, we're going to practice this. And then we'll answer some questions about it. Like if you have questions as you're doing it, after you watch the recording, put your questions in the chat and we'll talk through it because you probably will have questions. But this is just something that I wanted y'all to try. So, Tanya or Gina, do you have any questions? You know what, Tanya? This would actually be a replacement to your drip list to see if this works better for you than your drip list. If you're doing your drip list and it's working great and you're feeling great about it, you can keep doing your drip list. If you're finding yourself frustrated and stressed and overwhelmed and not taking action with your drip list, then maybe you should try this instead. Sometimes a drip list can be a little overwhelming. This is very similar to a drip list. It's just a different way to do it. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So this is just because a lot of times I feel like my drip list, I get frustrated. Like the emotions that come from my drip list cause me to not take the best actions that I can take. Yes. Okay. So your drip list is making you overwhelmed. So look at your drip list. Maybe pick the 10 people that you're most excited about on your drip list, or just throw out your drip list for right now, for the last week. Throw out your drip list and go look at your posts, look at your stories, and write down 10 people that you're excited about, that you would be excited to message or excited to get to know or excited to snoop on their page and look for things that you might be able to message them about. And then let's try this. And so then November 1st, bring forward anybody you're still excited about that hasn't joined. And then also let's fill up a list of 20 people. And then, I can see realistically if if you're going for a huge rank up, you might work through those 20 people faster than a month. But most likely you're going to work through those 20 people in a month. And it's just a little bit more exciting and it's just a different energy that you're bringing to it that's going to help you have better results. Okay. And then if you do message people and they're not interested, just say, okay, moving on, cross their name off, add a new name to the list. You can always add more names to the list during the month as you're working through the names. Or if you work through all the names or you're tired of that list or it's stressing you out, throw the list away, start your new list. Does that make sense? This is something I'm going to be working through with you guys. And really, the point of this is to make a list of 20 people you're excited to be interacting with, you're excited to be investigating, you're excited to be getting to know better and looking for problems that you can solve. And then the end goal is to send a message. Okay. Um, and so you want to be looking for reasons to send a message. A lot of times people won't tell us what they're struggling with, but we can look at, like I said, with the real estate agent and mom of a little toddler, I can make some guesses as to what she's dealing with. She's probably stressed. She's probably tired. She's probably overwhelmed. She's likely bloated because she's probably not eating great. And she's likely, so those are all things that I can look for a story that addresses that, if that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? I'm trying to anticipate some questions you guys watching the recording will have, but honestly, just please, once you watch the recording, send your questions in the chat and I'm happy to respond to them that way because I know you will probably have questions. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So your homework is go make your list. I think it seems like it will make me more intentional. I can't just listen or type and chat. No problem. No problem. Okay. So let's go ahead and make your list of 10 today. And then once you make your list of your hot 10 list that we're going to make for the end of the month, go ahead and drop your hot 10 list in the chat so you can be excited and so other people can see that you're doing it and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, let's make our top 10, our hot 10 list. We'll do our official first hot 20 list November 1st. I'll remind y'all, but let's go ahead and practice our hot 10 list and see how this works for us the last week and a day, 8 days of the month. That's still so much time. If you have any goals this month, you can still totally reach them. Okay. And also, just know that I am hopping off here to talk to the Jules about some really exciting stuff coming in November. And I 100% am serious when I'm saying that this could be, and most likely will be, the biggest November Plexus has ever had because I know what they're doing, and it's some of the best that they're bringing all together in 1 month to help you guys have the biggest success y'all ever had in Plexus. So, gonna log off, get this recording scheduled and or on YouTube, and then can't wait to hear from you guys watching the recording.